In the process of doing an electric fan upgrade on my 87 El Camino, I've got the upper radiator shroud taken out to see what kind of real estate I've got to work with here. And what I'm going with is a Ford Contour style electric fan setup, which is a 2-speed fan that fits pretty well on the radiator. It's a little bit narrower than the actual radiator, but this was recommended to me from a buddy of mine that's into Fox bodies. He's got this setup installed on his vehicle, and these are relatively inexpensive. I believe these are pretty much $100 or under with all the research I've done online. I think I got this off eBay for like 96 bucks. Anyways, I ended up going with a kit that was offered by Late Model Restorations, and it's a Dakota Digital Controller along with a couple of heavy-duty relays and a complete set of instructions, which is really helpful. So I'm going to give this a try to see how well it works on my setup. I already have a Champion 4-core aluminum radiator on here. Ended up going with the upper radiator bracket from Mike's Monties, and it's a pretty nice setup from what I can see here. Do have to make some minor adjustments to fit this over the radiator, but other than that, it's a pretty nice piece. Already taken off the old school clutch style fan, getting everything ready for that. Also have purchased a serpentine belt pulley system for this. That'll be the next step on this install, but just wanted to see how all this was going to fit in here before I actually did the swap of the belt system. I've got another video I'm going to do on that, which I'm in the process of powder coating, but I'll follow up with that in another video. Just got done mocking up this dual electric fan setup for my 87 Camino. What I ended up doing was taking a piece of stainless sheet metal and bending it on my brake, my metal brake, and I don't know if you can see that. You can see it better over here. And actually went inside the shroud with it and mounted it from the inside. And then on the bottom, I used the existing threaded clips and bent some stainless steel heavy gauge sheet metal to hold those, and secured those from the inside as well. And you can see the relays there. I'm going to pull this back out tomorrow and hook up all the wiring harness and get it routed properly, and then set up the Dakota Digital control module under the dash. Got the electric fans in for the final fitment, and also have the wiring harness attached to the bottom here, ready to wire it through the core support and the inner fender here into the passenger compartment, where the original wires went to the computer. And then I'm going to install the Dakota Digital control module underneath the glove box and run the signal wires from the relays to the controller, as well as hooking up my sensor for the module. So I'll run that probably back along the firewall and underneath the AC unit here and get it into the control module. Okay, got most of my wiring done on the electric fan setup here. Just got done crimping some ends on the 12 volt leads. If you can see that mess down there, that's where the ground is on the frame. And routed the wires come from the relays up along the core support. Inside the fender, down underneath the AC box where the factory computer wires, I guess, ran through, so I went ahead and ran it through the original hole and have them coming through here. I don't know if you can see any of that, but got some Dynamat type sound deadener covering up the hole, and I got my black wire here that is actually the sensor leads. There's a red and a black coming off the sensor, and I've got the red wire, I believe that's ignition on, coming from the relay, and the two white wires that control the low speed and high speed on the dual fans. So what I'm going to try to do is mount the Dakota Digital Controller up here and run all those wires up to it and cut them to length, and then run my two power wires over from the fuse panel over there underneath the driver's side to get a 12 volt constant and a 12 volt ignition on over to the controller box over here. So I'll get that set up next. Okay, got all of the wiring run to the fan controller unit, the Dakota Digital PAC 2800BT. As per the wiring diagram, I run all the wires through the passenger side dash, and I use the opening on the firewall for the computer wiring that was originally in this. And of course, I ran the 12 volt ignition source from the fuse panel over here, as well as the 12 volt constant, and got all that hooked up hopefully the way the diagram shows. Also, I tapped into the AC signal here at the switch on the accumulator instead of running it all the way over to the actual compressor, and about to hook up the juice on the battery. I've got inline 30 amp fuses. Hope these hold up to the surge I guess the fan is going to create when these fire up for the first time. Anyways, this is set up for high and low speed. Hopefully, if I've wired this correctly, I'm going to get everything hooked up here in a minute and sync it with the Bluetooth option and get all the parameters set the way they should be and see how it works. Alright, got this thing running, everything's hooked up. Not sure if I've got all the settings right. I went into the Bluetooth app that connects to this thing, and it operates on low with only one fan. I was hoping both fans would go on, and then when it hits a certain temperature, it's supposed to kick on both fans high. So I got to do a little research on that, but it does kick on at the right temperature. And I've been running it for a while. The fan's already cycled, and then when you turn the AC on, both fans pull like they're supposed to. So still got a little tweaking to do.